You've seen them throughout Chicago. 175 were arrested in October, but that didn't stop two Occupy Chicago protesters, Aaron and Emilio, from taking the trip to Iowa to occupy the caucus.
This movement crosses boundaries, it crosses borders. It's international in scope and size. So I think it's really important to participate in activities like these.
The Occupy movement has prided themselves on being nonpartisan and focusing on the issues that affect the 99%.
Begin to make ourselves known as politically active individuals, though still very much nonpartisan. If anything, we have questions about the idea of being partisan in general and running on a platform instead of issues.
So we're not looking, in my opinion, we're not looking to appeal to Barack Obama. He will not listen to us.
But besides protesting at caucus locations throughout Iowa, these two Chicagoans are asking for a call to action.
We're not looking to influence any presidential candidate. In fact, this is more of a direct call to action to the masses of working people in the United States.
And even more importantly, they say, turning America back to its fundamentals.
I want some creativity. Where's the creativity? We've got a beautiful, my heart blooms when I read the American Constitution, okay? And there's so much there to work with instead of against, instead of piling on top of.
As these two Chicagoans join the hundreds of other protesters from all around the world this week in Iowa, they are passing the time by putting their heads together to plan for the upcoming NATO and G8 summits.
And this is only the beginning.
So, if I say I'm from Chicago, usually I say it with a bit of gusto, and they're like, oh, okay, hotshot, well, I'll see you in May.
Protesters from the Occupy movement are still striving to stay peaceful throughout the elections and during the summits. From Des Moines, Iowa, Paris Lubell, WCHI.
I'm Brian Conley, reporting from the Winchendon Courier. Today I'd like to explain something that we might not all know what's going on. It's called the Occupy Wall Street movement, and it's growing, and it's growing, and it's growing. But by how much, you ask? Well, Emily Chambliss, in her blog Attention New USA, collected data on how the events of this movement, Occupy Wall Street, are being covered in the media, through Twitter, the news, etc. You can also hit me up on at BrianConnolly20. That is my Twitter username. Feel free to shoot me a tweet. We all know you love the social media. But anyways, this is what she showed us as the different forums that were reporting the Occupy Wall Street movement gathered data and studied the results from September 10th to October 10th. They created the following images and graphs, which we'll be going over.
Welcome back. My name is Ryan O'Toole. You can follow me on Twitter at RyanO'Toole23. I'm here with Brian Connolly at BrianConnolly20. We're here today discussing the Occupy Wall Street phase that America's going through. Not even just America, the whole entire world. And we have a math little question for you kids out there today. We're wondering if Emily Chambliss has been taking all the data of the number of tweets that have mentioned or hashtagged Occupy Wall Street in them. We're wondering, during the week of September 10th, 2011 through September 16th, there was 18 tweets made to the next week, which was 395.5 tweets per day on average. So that's our question for you folks out there. Can you figure out what the percent rise is from week 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 5?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Yeah.
2020. Reynolds Wool here at Reynolds Wool 23. Please follow us. We'd like some followers.
Now, Mr. O'Toole, I've got an interesting question for you as well as the folks back home. Now, you pay attention, folks. What was happening in the protest movement when the Twitter buzz seemed to peak?
You know, Brian, the way I feel about this is, as soon as Emily Chambliss started writing a blog and actually following the whole Twitter trend of Occupy Wall Street, I feel like more and more people got involved with the movement. Writing a blog and actually following the whole Twitter trend of Occupy Wall Street, I feel like more and more people got involved with the movement. And data shows and proves my point that so many more people got involved in it. I had no idea what Occupy Wall Street was until I looked at Twitter, saw all these people tweeting about it, hashtag OWS, hashtag Occupy Northeastern, Occupy Winchendon. You know, it's a popular topic now, and ever since she did this, everyone seems to be getting involved and paying attention to it, which I had no idea what it was before this. You know, and until she did this, I had no idea what it was.
You make a good point, Mr. O'Toole, and this is also how it came to be. I mean, the media is now sending out what the Occupy Wall Street movement is, and that's what we're discussing right now, and that's why it's brought to my attention, that's why I learned about it. It's
Now,
good to see.
I got a question for you. People like that, how do you think they're covering this news story?
Oh, I think it's a much different, coverage standpoint. I mean, these people are not necessarily part of the 1%. They're part of the majority of people who are struggling to stay afloat. Unless you're that guy. But anyways, I mean, unless you're that 1%, you're really struggling. And I mean, for the majority of these reporters, they're struggling as well, and they're part of these people, this group. So they're kind of in on the action, kind of bringing it a home front to the whole movement. Now, Mr. O'Toole, I have to ask you, there are protests now in more than 1,400 U.S. cities, and also in Canada, Latin America, Europe, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and Africa. Say that 5 times fast. But anyways, what do you think has changed since Emily Chambliss getting involved on it? But I mean, do you hear the news and the media getting more involved and taking a bigger stance on this subject?
See, I'm Amish, Brian, so I'm kind of against the whole technology thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so I can't really answer that question. Maybe you could take a better stance on that.
Honestly, I just feel that we realize that there's a time for change. I mean, Barack Obama, you know that man.
Yeah.
He comes in pretty, change.
Yeah.
Change, and we want change. And maybe it's time for the majority of the financial wealth to spread, Maybe it's that time. Maybe it's that time, America.
Maybe
Where
it's
there's
that
no more
time.
1%, and there's, the 99% is the wealthy, and only 1% is poor. Wouldn't that be a beautiful world? But you know what, America? That's why we're here today. We're here to find out what you think. Oh my God, my computer's broke. But this is what we want you to.
Ever since she gathered it, you just see just the boom of people, and it's not even just, here in America, I feel like every day when I wake up and I have to go fill up my gas tank, and it costs me $40 to fill up my Hyundai Sonata, it's just like, if you really find out that it's not just us that are struggling. You got kids from all over the world that live in Winchendon, that back home they're struggling too, in Brazil, in Canada, there's just kids from everywhere. It's out of control.
How much financial accumulation they represent? Well, they represent 42% of America's total financial wealth. And I'll let you know this, that wealth and income are 2 different measures. Your income is what you earn yearly or annually for you English scholars out there. Your wealth is the total sum of all of your assets, like your home, your Rolex watch, your binder, your Razor scooter, etc. Anyways, so that top 1% of America's richest is 42% of America's total financial wealth. Quite an astounding number if you think about it, ain't it, Mr. O'Toole?
Very large number.
I'll let you also know that the top 5% of Americans represent 69% of America's total financial wealth, an even bigger number from the 1%. This is quite so. America, the top 10%, you're guessing, probably a little less wealth. Well, I'll tell you what, it accumulates for 82% of America's total financial wealth. And if you thought that number was big, well, think of it again. Because the top 20% is 92% of America's financial wealth. 92%. That leaves the bottom 80% with only 7% of America's financial wealth. Wow. So if you're in that top 20%, you're doing pretty well for yourself. And I'll tell you what, I'm definitely in that bottom 80%. So if you're in the majority, you are, and I mean you are broke.
Breaking news! We're here with
Yeah.
1%.
Kim, have fun with your sisters, all right? I gotta go. I know you just got off your relationship with Chris Humphries, but I'm a busy man. I'm a lot to get. Oh,